One car on this list sells every 40 seconds in America, and together these 10 models move more than 2 million units a year. They are not the fastest or the flashiest, but they keep winning for one quiet reason: they last. Across thousands of repair shops, mechanics keep seeing the same pattern. These models survive high mileage, they stay predictable, and they avoid the failures that take other cars off the road early. Watch closely. Each vehicle on this list has its own strength. Engines that refuse to break, transmissions that stay smooth past 200,000 miles, hybrids that run clean year after year, and trucks that hold their shape under heavy load. Most buyers never notice these details, but the data shows it clearly. These 10 models stay alive longer, cheaper, and more consistently than almost anything else on the market. Stay until the end, because the final 2 models reveal the pattern that keeps all of them on top. And once you see it, you will understand why Americans keep choosing them year after year. Ford F-Series. Over 760,000 sold last year. One Ford truck every 40 seconds. That kind of dominance is never an accident, and mechanics say the same thing. The F-Series survives what kills other trucks. Failure rates tell the story. Across full-size pickups, the average engine failure sits around 12% before 150,000 miles. On the F-Series, many trims drop that risk to under 5%, and high-mileage owners consistently pass 200,000 and even 300,000 miles without major repairs. The 3.5 EcoBoost, the 5.0 V8, even the hybrid, each holds a different weakness. But across the board, the F-Series protects the owner's wallet better than its rivals. Annual repair costs hover near $550, far below the segment average of $900. It does the heavy work too. Towing reaches 14,000 pounds depending on the configuration. Torque delivery stays stable under load, and mechanics note fewer overheating events in extreme heat than competing trucks from the same years. Inside, Ford keeps the cabin quiet, measured at roughly 66 to 68 decibels at highway speeds. Seats last, electronics hold, and interior repairs stay cheap compared to GM and Ram. But the real reason the F-Series stays on top is resale. Even after 5 years, many trims hold over 55% of their value. Some special packages reach 60%. It does not matter if it is snow, heat, towing, or daily abuse. The F-Series survives at a price that buyers can justify. That is why Americans keep choosing it, and it sets the benchmark that every other truck on this list is forced to chase. Chevrolet Silverado. More than 560,000 sold last year. A work truck with an entire army behind it. And the numbers prove why it keeps climbing. Where the average full-size pickup faces a 10 to 14% chance of major engine trouble before 150,000 miles, many Silverados land near 6%. Mechanics say the same thing. The V8 stay predictable. The failures stay rare. The 5.3 and 6.2-liter V8s deliver strong power and low long-term drama. Torque holds steady under load. Cooling systems handle heat better than older generations, and when maintained, many trucks cross 250,000 miles without touching the internals. Repair costs stay controlled too. Annual averages sit around $650 compared to rival trucks that often reach $900 to $1,200 as they age. Typical transmission service intervals remain cheap, and failure rates stay lower than Ram models from the same years. The frame matters too. GM's high-strength steel chassis reduces flex under towing, pushing stability higher at highway speeds. And the suspension, simple, proven, durable, keeps the truck from sagging under heavy loads. Inside, the Silverado stays practical. Big buttons, clear gauges, easy visibility. Interior electronics remain one of the lowest failure categories in the segment. Resale holds well. After 5 years, many trims keep 50 to 55% of their value depending on configuration. Not as high as the F-Series, but consistently strong in cost retention. People buy it because it delivers. It pulls hard, it lasts long, it keeps repair bills predictable, and it avoids the hidden failures that drain money from the average truck owner. Toyota RAV4. Over 475,000 sold last year, the best-selling non-truck in America. One SUV that became part of millions of daily routines, and the durability numbers explain exactly why. Across compact SUVs, the average engine or hybrid system failure before 150,000 miles sits near 9 to 12%. On the RAV4, that risk often drops to under 4%. Hybrid trims go even lower. Mechanics know the pattern well. The RAV4 rarely comes in for anything serious. Fluids, brakes, tires, that is it. The 2.5-liter engine runs clean. Hybrid batteries maintain high health even past 200,000 miles with degradation frequently below 10%. In real use, many RAV4s reach 250,000 miles without major powertrain repairs. Annual maintenance averages stay near $430, among the lowest in the segment. And long-term operating costs can fall thousands below rivals that suffer CVT failures or turbo issues after high mileage. Dimensions matter too. At 180 to 183 inches long with sensible weight, the RAV4 avoids the structural stress that heavier SUVs carry. Suspension components last longer, brake wear stays low, and electrical failures remain rare, especially on post-2019 models. Inside, practicality rules. Noise levels sit around 67 to 69 decibels at highway speeds. Cabin wear is slow, and the interior electronics show some of the lowest defect rates Toyota produces. Resale is massive. After 5 years, many RAV4s still hold 60 to 65% of their original value, higher than almost any compact SUV. Families buy it for one reason: it makes life predictable, cheap to run, hard to break, and built to outlive most of its competition without drama. Honda CR-V. Over 400,000 sold last year. And for more than 20 years, the CR-V has averaged over 300,000 US sales annually. No compact SUV has a longer winning streak, and the durability numbers explain why it keeps holding the crown. Across the segment, the average turbo or CVT failure before 150,000 miles ranges from 10 to 15%. On the CR-V, that risk often drops to under 6%, and in some years, even lower. Mechanics see the pattern every day. The CR-V comes back for oil, filters, and tires. Big repairs are rare. The 1.5-liter turbo delivers 190 horsepower, but its long-term reliability remains stable when serviced correctly. Hybrid trims stretch efficiency to 40 miles per gallon, and owners routinely pass 200,000 and even 250,000 miles without major driveline failures. Annual maintenance stays among the lowest in class, typically $450 or less. Over a 10-year span, CR-V owners can save $2,000 to $3,500 in repairs compared to several competing compact SUVs. Dimensions matter here too. At 184 inches long with just over 7 inches of ground clearance, the structure remains light, rigid, and easy on suspension components. Inside, cargo volume reaches 76.5 cubic feet. Cabin noise sits near 66 to 68 decibels. Seat foam and interior plastics show slow, predictable aging. Resale stays above 60% after 5 years. More than 60% of owners keep theirs for over 10 years. People buy the CR-V because it reduces cost everywhere. Less fuel, less repair, less depreciation, more miles before anything expensive breaks. Ram 1500. Over 373,000 sold last year. Over 4 million sold in the last decade. The Ram 1500 is America's comfort truck. Across full-size trucks, the average drivetrain failure before 150,000 miles sits around 10 to 14%. On the Ram 1500, that risk often drops to 7%, especially with the 5.7 HEMI. Mechanics see the difference clearly. The HEMI takes abuse. The bottom end is strong. The 5.7-liter V8 pushes 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. Air suspension failure rates stay under 3% over the first 120,000 miles. Towing reaches 12,750 pounds. Chassis rigidity improved by 30%, reducing flex and long-term stress. Annual maintenance averages around $700. Modern Rams avoid the $2,000 to $3,000 repair spikes seen in rivals with more complex systems. Inside, noise stays under 67 decibels. Legroom hits 45 inches. Interior durability remains strong. Resale holds 50 to 58% after 5 years. People buy the Ram because it lasts, stays quiet, and avoids catastrophic failures. Comfort without compromise. Tesla Model Y. Over 313,000 sold in the US last year. Over 1.2 million globally in 2 years. The best-selling EV in the world because it breaks less than almost anything else. Average EV drivetrain failure sits at 8 to 12% by 150,000 miles. The Model Y drops that to under 3%. Mechanics summarize it simply: 70% fewer moving parts, less heat, less friction, less to fail. Performance models hit 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Range reaches 330 miles. Battery degradation stays between 5 and 7% at 100,000 miles. Annual maintenance averages around $300. No belts, no oil, no transmission. Cargo volume reaches 76 cubic feet. Drag coefficient sits at 0.23. Resale remains strong at 70% after 3 years. People buy it because the long-term math wins, even when the sticker price does not. Toyota Camry. Over 309,000 sold last year. 21 years as America's top sedan. Average mid-size sedan failure before 200,000 miles sits at 12 to 18%. The Camry cuts that to under 5%. Mechanics know the pattern. The Camry does not die early. The engines run forever. The 2.5 makes 203 horsepower. The V6 pushes 301. Both reach 250,000 miles with basic maintenance. Hybrids reach 52 miles per gallon with battery degradation under 10% at 150,000 miles. Annual maintenance averages $450. 10-year repair savings reach up to $3,000 over comparable sedans. Resale stays at 65% after 5 years. People buy the Camry because it never betrays them. GMC Sierra. Nearly 299,000 sold last year. A luxury workhorse built for capability. Average full-size failure sits at 12 to 16% before 150,000 miles. The Sierra cuts that to under 9%. Mechanics agree that the V8s last, the frame stays solid. Power reaches 420 horsepower. Towing hits 13,200 pounds. Wheelbase stretches 147 inches. Electrical failures drop under 3% in new models. Maintenance averages $700 annually. Resale stays 55 to 60% after 5 years. People choose the Sierra because it tows, lasts, and avoids expensive failures. Nissan Rogue. Over 245,000 sold last year. A comeback built on better engines and lower failure rates. Compact SUV failure averages 10 to 14% before 150,000 miles. The new Rogue cuts that to under 5%. Mechanics see it clearly. The new turbo is cleaner, the CVT runs cooler, the 1.5 turbo makes 201 horsepower. Response time improves 30% over older CVT. Reliability scores reach 80 out of 100. Cabin noise sits at 66 decibels. Cargo reaches 74.1 cubic feet. Maintenance stays $450 to $500 a year. Resale returns to 55% after 5 years. People buy the Rogue because it delivers more comfort than its price. Honda Civic. Over 242,000 sold last year. Over 12 million sold in America. Compact car failure averages 12 to 20% before 200,000 miles. The Civic drops that to under 6%. Mechanics repeat it every year. The Civic does not age fast. The 1.5 turbo makes 180 horsepower. The Sci makes 200. Many Civics stay stable at 80 miles per hour past 150,000 miles. Fuel economy hits 42 miles per gallon. Maintenance stays under $450 annually. Long-term savings reach up to $3,000 over 10 years. 75% of Civics from the last 20 years are still on the road. Many pass 250,000 miles. Resale stays above 65% after 5 years. People buy the Civic because it delivers more than they paid for, every single year. These 10 vehicles dominate for one reason: they survive. The average car faces a 25% failure risk before 100,000 miles. These models cut it to under 6%. Trucks that pass 300,000 miles. Hybrids that stay clean. Sedans and SUVs that avoid the expensive failures their rivals cannot. Over 10 years, that durability can save $6,000 to $12,000 in repairs, fuel, and depreciation. Most buyers never see it, mechanics do, and the sales numbers expose it. America rewards survival, and these 10 vehicles survive longer and cheaper than almost anything else on the road. If you want more stories that expose the real numbers behind the cars we drive, subscribe to Gastail. The next video breaks down a pattern even more surprising than this one, and once you see it, you will never look at your car the same way again.